So maybe if you just want to do this, just sort of raise your hand, and now at some point, maybe Katie can just take a look around, see who wants the microphone. It's going to be sort of going around very, very quickly, all right? And try to get to some folks. We come back and just want to make a couple more announcements when we start. All right, ready? From UConn's Greater Hartford campus, this is where we live. Today we're having an imagination conversation. It's one of 50 that's being put on around the country. Scott Brandon is here at the Lincoln Center Institute. They're having these conversations. He's the author of Imagination First, Unlocking the Power of Possibility. Steve Dahlberg's also back with us. He's director of the International Center for Creativity and Imagination. We're talking to students and big thinkers and teachers. And the next one of these imagination conversations, as a matter of fact, is going to be a more intimate, not radio broadcast affair at the studio of Billings Forge on May 24th from 7 to 9 p.m. If you'd like more information, you can go to appliedimagination.org. A couple of other invention and ideas, imagination events coming up in the next few weeks as well. On May 1st, at UConn Stores, Invention is happening at the Gamble Pavilion. And this upcoming Sunday, April 25th, Wisdom House out in Litchfield, Art and Spirituality Forum takes place. This particular forum is called The Artist, Shaman or Showman. Is that right? Let me make sure I get this right. It's called The Artist, Shaman or Showman. We can edit this together. One more time. The Wisdom House in Litchfield, Connecticut is holding an art and spirituality forum called The Artist, Shaman or Showman, which features a few of our very favorite artists, great Native American Joseph Firepro, and also Ellen Brisnick, who's part of an amazing project that's happening in Idletown, Wednesday, Connecticut. So there's a lot to talk about as far as imagination and creativity. So let's go to our audience first. Hi, who are you?
Hi, I'm Sue Sturman. I'm from the Hillstead Museum. 4 years ago, I was chair of the Santa Fe, New Mexico Arts Commission, and we held an imagination conversation. I was told that the Lincoln Center had done a survey of the two words, imagination and creativity, and that Americans in general, adults, were frightened of the word creativity. And so I thought it was very clever of you to call these imagination conversations to draw people in. If you had called them creativity conferences, no one would have shown up.
Why are you scared of creativity?
Well, my theory is all of us can imagine. I can imagine, we say, oh, I can imagine that. But when you have to create, you have to produce, you have to put your ideas on the line, and we're afraid of doing that. And that's why I'm so happy that schools are beginning to encourage their students to take their ideas and put them into action.
It's interesting, though. It does kind of catch you off the hook, doesn't it? To imagine, you can just sort of sit and imagine. To create does take something, doesn't it, Scott? Something different.
But once again, we would, our perspective is it's the ICI continuum. We're looking at imagination, creativity, and innovation. But you're absolutely right that public polling has showed that the American public has a much, much more positive view toward the term imagination.
And we don't want imagination to be a thought of the dreamer, the person whose imaginative ideas lack a clear path to action, right?
Which is why, once again, we need to take all this off the pedestal, and it can't just be the 1,000 people who have created new products that have changed the face of our life. I mean, thankfully, they're there. But what's the day-to-day incremental change for all of us and for every student in every school that we really should be talking about? Because it has to happen. The 1,000 people are going to happen every generation. But what's going to happen is to keep replenishing that and make sure, once again, that there's parity equity within it, that it's open to everyone.
Let's get us a few more ideas from our audience. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Sean Glenn, and I'm a student at Simsbury High School in the Greater Hartford Academy of the Arts. And I just wanted to respond about how we get students to care. Because one thing I find very interesting, I care way more about the Arts Academy than I do Simsbury High School. And one thing that I think really affects that is the respect I get at the Greater Hartford Academy of the Arts from my teachers. The respect I get from them, it makes me feel worthy. I feel like my thoughts and ideas are very they're respected. I don't know. I just feel very encouraged to think differently and to act differently
because it's an arts environment, is that what makes it so available and open? Is that the key part of it, that arts is at the core of what you're doing?
Yeah, that's definitely a key part of it. I work with artists, that's what they do outside of teaching, and that has a great deal to do with the reason why they respect our ideas.
Now translate this for me to Simsbury High School, to the general student population. How does it work for kids who aren't talented artists and can't go to an art school, but just in the general student population? What can the school do to make it better?
I really think a great deal of it is the respect that teachers can show respect to their students. I'm not saying that they don't respect their students, but I definitely think kids are encouraged when they feel that their ideas are worth something, their thoughts are worth something, and when we're encouraged to put out new ideas, even like as I said, they're slightly offensive. We don't want to throw those aside. We want to encourage students to talk about them. Our world isn't a perfect world, and we want to be able to face that and talk about it, and through that we get debates which lead to solutions. And I think that's why we need to respect our students and their ideas, even if they might be slightly scary at times.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Some other ideas here? I'm going to pass the microphone along, and let's move it down here. And hi, what's your name?
Oh, hi. My name is Jacqueline. I'm an entrepreneur from Kenya, and I'm just here at the University of Connecticut. We have a program with 3 entrepreneurs here, and I mean, it just got this chance to have this class for creative thinking, and from hearing from the audience, it's like, I mean, that's still the same level from where I come from. I mean, what I hear is that at least the grown-ups or the adults and the parents want to create perimeters for their kids, because then they're kind of sure that if you take this direction, you're kind of assured of some economic value. But then you don't want to let them go, you don't want to let them wander, because you don't know what's on the other side. That way, then you don't want to get into their creative side, you don't want to let them be. It's kind of an insurance. She just said she gets some kind of respect, security. I think it's the same thing from where I come from. If you break away, you go to school, you go to graduate school, you want to do business, you're an entrepreneur, you're breaking, everyone respects you.